Hi, I'm Gianna. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I wanted to do a blush declutter video because I'm kind of coming back into makeup after like a year away, and so a bunch of my collection is just expired, kind of gross. So I'm gonna go through those products and kind of talk about, am I gonna rebuy them or what am I gonna replace them with if not? And then I'm just gonna look at the rest of my collection, mostly talk about the formula and what I like, and then we'll kind of recap at the end and talk about my faves. And there'll be swatches throughout, don't you worry. So yeah, I think let's get into it. Let's get it started with the Glossier Cloud Paints because these were my introduction to the world of cream and liquid blushes, so it's only fair. I've had these for around 5 years, and you can see how small the tube is, and they've lasted this entire time. So I really would recommend them if you're just getting into cream or liquid blushes, but for me personally, I've kind of outgrown this, and this isn't really my vibe at the moment. Liquid blushes in general aren't really what I reach for these days. I'm mostly using cream blushes because I feel they give me a more targeted application and I can be more precise. I used to be all about just kind of like glopping it on, and so these were perfect, but I think our time together is done. And I have these in the shade Haze and Dawn. These are the Flower Beauty Blush Bombs. These are considered to be dupes for the Glossier Cloud Paint, so I thought I'd chat about these next. I have the shades Nectar and Cinnamon. I really like these shades for my skin tone. Nectar can be a little light sometimes, but I like the diversity of the shade range. They've got pinks, corals, berries. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative for the Glossier Cloud Paints, I would definitely recommend this. The formula is a bit more slippery, so when I'm talking about like targeted application, that's kind of even harder to get with the Flower Beauty ones. It can kind of just go up to like the crown of my head if you're not careful. So I won't be rebuying these, but I am really grateful for these affordable options so that I could experiment with colors like this kind of like brown nude shade. There was nowhere in my collection, so I'm really grateful for the time I spent with these. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Get Laid. It's a matte coral. And this was really unique in my collection because I don't have any other matte kind of cream blushes, so that was really cool. But it's just dried out really quickly. And I have other products from ColourPop's Super Shock Cheek line that are still kicking, so I think it might be the matte formulation. So I don't think I would recommend the matte shades from ColourPop, but instead I'm kind of on the hunt, or I was on the hunt for a matte powder in a coral shade to replace this one, and I think I found one from NYX that I'll show you guys later. Lastly, for my expired blush graveyard is the Tower 28 Beach Please Tinted Balm in the shade Magic Hour. It's just a beautiful rosy nude shade, and I reach for this every single day, and that's why it's gotta go. I'm at this point where I want to experiment with makeup. I want to try out different shades and textures and formulas, and I know if I just rebought this and had it in my collection, I would just reach for it every single day, and I wouldn't be playing, I wouldn't be creating the way that I wanted to. So to kind of eliminate the option of falling into that kind of comfort zone, I'm just not rebuying it at all, which is bold of me. However, if you're just starting out your collection and you want a blush that's a kind of go-to everyday shade, this specific blush, the shade, the formula is completely ideal. Like, you can't go wrong with a cream blush. It just melts into the skin, whether you're wearing foundation or just bare face, it looks flawless. So I'm hyping it up so much, I'm like, why don't I still have it? But for all those reasons, it's really, I would say it's the only blush you need. Bold. Next, I've got the BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease palette. So this has 3 blushes and 3 highlighters. And I only really use this when I travel. I'm gonna keep it just for that reason. It's nice to be able to just bring one little thin palette and have all these options for mixing and matching. These powder blushes kind of have a lot of kickback, so I would just be mindful of that if you're using it. It might make a mess on your makeup area, but I like to just blow it into the air. But if you're someone who doesn't like that kind of dustiness, just a heads up. Here I have 2 more shades of the Tower 28 Beach Please Tinted Balm. I've got Golden Hour and Power Hour. And silly me, I've had this for like 6 months and still have not even swatched it. I didn't really start wearing makeup again until the spring, and this tone just wasn't really right for those seasons, I feel. So maybe in fall. I won't declutter this yet. That'd be kind of silly. So I'll just hold on to that till the seasons change. But the one in Golden Hour I've been reaching for a lot in the summer, in the warmer months. I really like a bright orange blush, and this is definitely more orange and not coral. So it's unique in that way, and I'll be keeping it as well. Next, I have 2 blush formulas from M Cosmetics. First are the Serum Drops. I've got Soft Amethyst, which is like a purple, and Sunset Sky, which is an orange. And these are liquid blushes that are super glossy, dewy, don't dry down at all. And I think that was my aesthetic at one point, but definitely not anymore. I can't take how my hair like just sticks into it. So these are definitely gonna get decluttered. I didn't realize that till just now. Bye-bye. I've also got these Heaven's Glow blushes from M Cosmetics. This is Venetian Rose and Rococo. And I love this formula so much. It's a little powdery, but not too bad because it's a baked formula. So it really just glides on, and the powder almost kind of diffuses across the skin. It just blurs lightly. And there's a bit of shimmer in here too. So you really don't even need a highlighter when you wear this. Venetian Rose is my all-time favorite powder blush. If I don't know what I'm doing with a look, I'll just do like a neutral eye and just like buff this on, and I'll feel like I'm glowing from within. If you've tried the Hourglass blushes, these remind me of that formula so much. They give this like ethereal radiance, and they just feel really luxurious, especially the packaging. It's just a really nice experience to use them and brings a bit of joy to my makeup routine. I did just want to note that I'm not currently supporting M Cosmetics. Their founder made some comments that just made me feel uncomfortable supporting them and giving them money. So I'm going to use up what I have because I paid money for it. But going forward, I don't see myself supporting them. Next, we've got the e.l.f. Cosmetics Putty Blushes. I've got the shades Tahiti and Bali, a little pinky, a little moody red. And I don't like this formula, y'all. It's really dry. I feel like I have dry skin, so I feel like it clings to my dry patches, and I just don't enjoy the act of putting these on. It's very fiddly. Yeah, these are getting decluttered for sure. This is the Wet n Wild Baked Blush in Dare to Soar. I got this because it's supposed to be a dupe for Sangria Sunset, the Fenty highlighter shade, and it is. I also own both of them. So there really isn't a reason for me to keep this, but I love the hummingbird imprint. It just makes me happy to have, and it doesn't take up that much room, so I see no reason not to keep it for aesthetic purposes. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Powder Blush in Summer Breeze. It's a matte, kind of faded terracotta, which means it looks just a little dusty on me. But I got this as a replacement for the ColourPop Get Laid shade, and I think it works for that purpose. It's just when I want to set a coral or orange blush, I just use a really light dusting on this to help with longevity. So on its own, I don't think I would recommend this as a shadow or as a blush, but I think for my purpose of just kind of helping everything stay in place, it does its job. So I'll keep it around for now. I've got 2 shades of Melt Cosmetics blush lights. I've got Golden Hour, which is a more shimmery gold coral, and Honey Thief, which is like a grapefruit. I really like the formula of this. It's a cream blush, but it's very slippy, and not in a way where it spreads too easily, but it makes it sink into the skin really effortlessly. I wish I had gotten different shades. That's the only reason why I might declutter these, because I was so excited to get this. I swatched it and it just looked Ash City on me. I don't know what was going on. So I'm trying to find ways to use it with other blushes to kind of combat that lightness in the undertone, but I don't really want to spend more money on this product when I have so many blushes already. So I'm just going to find ways to make what I have work. I will say that Golden Hour has been really nice just as a highlight. And I'd put it like on the top of my cheekbones and it gives just like this peachy golden glow. So I found a way to salvage this one. These last two blushes are really new to my collection, so I won't be decluttering them, but I did just want to talk about their formula and my first impressions of them so far. So first we have from Liss Beauty. They're a Black-owned beauty brand available at Sephora. And this is the shade Self Love. They have so many different colors. They've got like a tangerine, a bright red. I love the options that they have. And even better, this formula is super luxurious feeling. It has like a satin finish on the skin. So if you don't want a super dewy look, this is a great kind of middle ground option as a cream blush. Lastly, I have the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes. I've got the shade Encourage, Joy, and Grateful. I love all these shade names. They make me feel so happy every time I reach for them. And similar to Liss Beauty, they have an amazing range of shades. They also come in dewy and matte finishes, so there's really something for everyone here. But the best thing about these blushes is how pigmented they are. As a person of color, I love that I don't have to layer on blush so much to get it to show up on my skin tone. One drop is literally all you need for both cheeks, and I think for people with medium to deeper skin tones, this is like heaven sent. I feel like is really rare and should be the standard for how we approach pigmentation, in my opinion. Okay, I feel like this was really successful. So here are the blushes that I'm going to be keeping, and here are the ones that I'm decluttering, and I feel like it's a decent amount, and I've really narrowed my blush collection to things that I'm excited about using or have a specific purpose, like for travel or as a topper. I also have a better idea of what I'm looking for going forward. I've kind of established that super matte cream blushes aren't for me, but also neither are the super dewy ones. There's a satin middle ground that's where I've got my eye going forward. I'm most excited about blushes like the rare ones that are super pigmented and easy to mix. I've been really enjoying doing like an ombre cheek or mixing different shades together to create a new one. That just makes me feel like reinvigorated about makeup and excited to play, and that's what I'm really looking for in a makeup product. So this was really fun. Thank you so much for watching this video and hanging out with me while I sort through all my blushes. If you're interested in more colorful and casual beauty content like this, please subscribe and like. That would be absolutely wonderful and means so much to me. So thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.